Yeah, let's get her family in there. Susan, why don't you guys all get up there, and then the council will take a picture with you.
No, I want you all to be in.
It's okay, well, you're the boss, whatever you want, it's your day. It's your day. This gentleman right here, take a photo.
Well, okay, we've gone in 6 feet over.
Your dad, can you see your dad? You sure you want to come right here? No, it's okay. You sure? You want dad to be right here? Okay, okay. You're good, you're good. You're good.
Thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate this. I'd just like to say my favorite quote is, if you can do great things, you can do small things in a great way, and that's what I truly live by every day.
Everybody that knows Kaylee knows that she is a breath of fresh air, and this recognition is so deserving. So Kaylee, congratulations. You keep doing a lot of great things in Oakdale, and we appreciate you very, very much. Congratulations.
Wait, now you can all go home.
Thank you, Landon. Thank you, and make sure you thank the senator for that. All right. You good? Okay, everybody staying? Okay, well, we'll give you a minute to go ahead and leave if you would like to. Look at this support from Ms. Gilbert. I love it. Good night, everyone. Adeus, adeus. That was really special. Yeah, of course. All right, next item is public comment. Next item is reporting out of closed session. We gave direction to staff. Next item is public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment on an item that is not on the agenda, please come up to the mic and you'll have 3 minutes. Please state your name. Okay, seeing none, no public comment. Public comment is now closed. Item 8, appointment to boards, commissions, and committees. I am going to first pull item 8.3, and I'm going to read a little something. So I would like to remove 8.3 from the agenda and bring it back to City Council at a later date. The city received 2 applications to serve on the Planning Commission, and those applicants were interviewed on March 3rd by myself and the Mayor Pro Tem. Giovanni did an awesome job, and I feel that she would be great for the commission. But due to a few concerns I have received regarding another real estate agent being placed on the Planning Commission, we will reopen the application period and will accept applications for another 30-day period. A notice of accepting applications for the Planning Commission vacancy will be posted in the Oakdale Leader, as it always has been, on the city's website and on the city's Facebook page, as it always has been. If anyone is interested in applying, please go to the city website, call Colleen, or visit city clerk at oakdaleca.gov. And I want to make it clear that her application is still to be considered for appointment. And also, the application is always on the agenda for the council to review and discuss prior to it coming to the council meeting. So it's not just for 2 of us to approve. So that also goes to a 5 vote at a council meeting. So anyway, just remember, if you ever have any questions regarding running for election or planning commission being appointed, please contact Colleen 845-3573. Thank you so much. Any other questions, comments, concern on the consent agenda?
It would be just 8.1 boards and commissions. So we'll do each one
Oh, we gotta do it, okay.
separately, so we'll have 8.1 first.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, 8.1, Sword. Okay,
Do we get any information about the folks that are on here?
Their resumes are in the packet.
I read the packet. Like, is there any additional information that we get, or
no, unless
No.
you contacted them.
I didn't know we could?
Jared, you can ask anything you want right now, so she is here.
Okay.
And Sandra would be seeking reappointment. She's been on the planning commission for 4 years so far.
Okay. My
Did you want to
question.
have her come up to the
Sure.
podium?
Yeah.
Good evening, Sandra.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. I haven't met you yet, but I'm Jared. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Is there any insight on your motivation to run and be a part of the planning commission?
Well, I grew up here. My family moved here in 1966, and we had a trucking company out on the Oakdale Waterford Highway until 2011. I've been involved extensively in community activities, and I just feel that my expertise would be in the finance and money side, not in the building side. I'm the controller at Central Catholic High School, so I do have financial background. So I come to it with a different perspective than the rules and regulations. I look at all of the packet, and if it's good for Oakdale, and what would be the best thing for Oakdale.
Gotcha. Where do you stand on the growth of Oakdale? Are you for conservative growth, rapid growth, kind of moderate? Where do you kind of feel?
I believe that Oakdale needs some growth right now because I think we've been stagnant for a while, but I think it needs to be managed growth, not just here, there, and everywhere. So, I hear a lot. I read like you do on Facebook and the
Yeah.
internet, Growing up here, this was a small community. There wasn't Bridal Ridge. There wasn't the vineyards. I watched, the Christmas tree farm and the vineyards, all of that turn into housing. And so it's become a city. We want to keep it a rural feeling, but we have to grow a bit. And we have to sustain things, we can't invite building or progressive stores or bigger restaurants or, anything if we don't look at building some. As you know, things are predicated on the population, and so we have to have some statistics to support population too.
Gotcha. Appreciate your willingness to get involved, and thank you for
Thank
answering
you.
my question.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Anybody?
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Do we vote individually on each one? Okay. Motion to approve 8.1, Sandra, for the
Second that
position.
motion.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. 8.2, consider reappointing Mark Silfor as commissioner to the Planning Commission. I did speak to Mark earlier. He is unable to make it due to a work commitment. So anybody have questions, comments, concerns? Obviously, he's not able to be here.
And again, this is a reappointment.
Reappointment application was in the agenda.
Any questions?
I motion to approve.
He's not here. I would ask the questions to him, but he's not here, so.
I'll second that motion, too.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Item 8.4, consider appointment of Danielle Sanders as Commissioner to the Senior Citizen Advisory Commission.
Danielle was here. Danielle was here.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Sanders?
Nope.
All right, this is an action item.
I motion to approve item 8-4.
I'll second that.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, 8.5, we're moving right along. Consider appointment of Bianca Signorelli as committee member of the Measure H Residents Oversight Committee to a 4-year term. Anybody have questions for Bianca? All right,
I know
seeing
Bianca,
none.
she's gonna hold them to it.
Yes, yes. Seeing none, this is an action item.
Just a point of clarification. Bianca, I thought you were already on the commission, were you not?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I motion to approve item 8-5.
Now I'll second that.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Bianca, are you raising your hand? You want to come up to the mic? You're,
The whole appointments of the boards and commissions, not specifically on mine. Is that not for public comment on this point?
you can come up with public comment. Yeah, yes. Well, thank you for volunteering to,
I have something to say.
oh, thank you for volunteering for the Measure H committee.
I just want to say, first of all, I thought these are not elected positions to the planning commission.
They're appointed.
They're appointed. And we are stacking it very heavily onto the real estate side. And even if Sandra works for the Catholic school or whatever, she's a notary, she does loan signing and stuff. So what I want to know is why is it not a conflict of interest if they turn around and sign loans or sell a house that goes up into one of these approved real estate lots?
So that's actually a very good question. I don't know if you were here when I read why we were pulling item 8.3
I did,
on that. And
yes.
also, there was a previous planning commission member on the board, and he was, I believe, in the development, some kind of, I don't know if he was real estate, but development builder. And when there's an item presented on the agenda, he has to recuse himself, just like any of the other ones.
I know,
So-
but if they recuse themselves there and it still passes, now it's approved and it's all gone through, then they turn around, they sell, because now they know this directly impacts their pockets, is their jobs. All I'm saying is that as we advertise, I think we need to advertise into the farmers. I don't know if they have a separate
Yeah, so we do
website.
actually.
We need more than real estate people sitting on this commission.
Which is why we're going back to the application process.
I thank you for that.
Yes, and the bottom line is, people can reach out to Colleen. This is all a process, if you want to be involved, rather run for city council, be on planning commission. I did the Park and Recs years ago. You have to know that you got to call the city to find out when these positions are available, which I know you know.
I'm starting to dabble.
Yeah. No, I love it, and thank you for that. But, just like we had the only 2 out of everybody in Oakdale for the planning commission, we only had 2 applications, 2.
That's
So,
sad. That's so
all you
sad.
can do is tell your family and friends that want to be involved, or the people that comment on social media, hey, 845-3573, give Colleen a call, go on the city website, fill out the application, we'll do some interviews, and then, of course, that comes to us, all 5 of us, for approval.
But how does that come back legally to the city as a conflict of interest for them if they sell property in those areas after they're approved?
Tom, can you chime in? Because I'm not sure how that goes.
Or it's null and void after that?
I think you gotta hit it a little bit harder.
There you go.
The commission is like at the council. If you have a conflict on a specific item, then you recuse yourself. So you're not participating
Right.
on that item. And there's also what's known as a public generally exception. So, say for example, just because you're a realtor and you pass something that includes new homes, that's not considered a conflict. It's just the way the law works.
I don't know about that one.
It's kind of like when we have something in Birchall Hill where I live, I have to step back, recuse myself, and Mayor Pro Tem has to take over. Even though it's not my home directly or in front of my house directly, it's still where I live in Birchall Hill. And I think we all,
I understand that part.
Yeah.
My part is like after, so they know what's going on behind the doors and all, and have information that is not available to others, and then go in and know that they've got homes to sell or whatever, or whatever. It just, anyway.
yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that up. We appreciate it, and congratulations on your appointment to Measure H Oversight.
Can I just clarify?
Oh, sure.
Colleen,
What?
Colleen.
I am an active notary and I do loan signings, but I took on the notary, my notary. I was working in Fresno for 7 years, and it gave me something to do on the nights when I had to stay in Fresno. I have not yet done a notary signing for a loan in Oakdale, and so that shouldn't be an issue here.
All right, thank you, Sandra, for your explanation. All right, number 9.
Mayor, may I clear something up on the consent agenda?
Okay,
And that has to do with the annexation of the Sierra Point specific plan.
okay,
The map that went out to council and in the agenda packet was an old map.
okay,
So it showed the high-density residential
Okay.
area was going to be south of Twildo, and that the very low-density residential was going to be to the east of Stearns. At the last city council, we did announce that those two were swapped.
okay.
The map that went out does not show that, but it is going to be corrected, and it will still be swapped, where the very low residential is south of Twildo.
Okay, 9.4, correct?
That's correct.
All right, any questions for Jerry? Okay,
I just have a real, so when this is approved, would it be approved with a note saying with the added map? Yes. Okay.
Yes, so the map, I believe that at the last city council, the map that we showed was the correct map. When we put this packet together, we just referenced the wrong map. So essentially, we just have the wrong map in there, not the wrong details.
thank you. All right, this is an action item.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
I second that motion.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
No.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 4-1. Thank you, Colleen. Item 11.1.
So 11.1, we're going to pull that item tonight. I want to do some clarification and bring it back to city council next week.
Okay, item 11.1 is pulled. Thank you, Jerry. Item 11.2, come on up, Tim. Good evening, how are you? Good, how you doing? Good. I want to thank you for taking the time to get us these options. I want to
Yes.
thank you very much.
Your posters are here. I don't know.
Huh?
Your posters are here. I don't know if you need them.
No, that was for you guys to see. We also have some samples for you guys, of the 4 samples on there, but you guys can see them up close. So I'm back so we can choose a color for the community center.
I guess you're sharing.
Oh, sharing.
All right, so kind of dim. That's a better picture over there on the 2 sides. But as everyone knows, here's the current color of the community center. It's all green. So one of the council member or meetings, we said that we are going to be able to change the paint colors. So here's some options. So option 1 is a kiln dry with an espresso macchiato on the windows. So that's going to be basically the windows, the doors, the,
Macchiato.
what is it? What did I say?
You said macchiato, then we need some coffee
Oh,
right now.
sorry.
Don't mind us, sorry, Tim.
No, you're good. So yeah, so basically everything on all the windows inside and outside, all the doors, basically all the metal out there, besides the top of the front and the top of the doors, all overhangs, and then the little thing on top over there. So that would be all brown with the kiln dry. So here's another one that we chose. and it's all the espresso macchiato. So it's all basically one color, so it'd be all brown. The third option is gonna be a deep crimson with the espresso macchiato. So this one, on the pictures, it's not done, but also those sconces that are on the wall, those will also be red also. So whatever color we choose for the top will also be for the
We like this one.
No, don't say we.
So your crimson is option 3, correct?
yes. Yes, crimson's option 3.
But can we do red and gold?
Red
So
and
that's,
gold?
that's
Gold, the
about
gold
as
doors?
close as red and gold as you're gonna get, right? Yes, yes.
And so this is the other one. Option 4 is gonna be the red rooster on the roof. And then same with the windows, the espresso macchiato.
Yeah, I don't have anything to do with this, sorry.
So I have the colors up front too. I know they're kind of hard to see with this. They look different in front of you than they do right here.
So can you go from option 4 to option 3 really quick?
Yes.
One more time. I'm like Dr. Scaife.
Oh,
If anybody's
3 and
like
4?
Dr. Scaife, like.
Yeah. So there's 3, and then there's 4.
Can we go back to 1?
Want to go back to 1? Really? All right. There's 1 right there.
I'm all for roof tones.
Yeah.
Maybe it should.
Well, and see, that was one of the things when we did this. We got some feedback saying that we wanted from Brian. He said, throw something out there with some pop to it.
Yeah.
And so that's basically why we started going with the reds.
Yeah.
And then we also threw out some other options, like if we did do one of these reds, we can actually put lettering on the top that says like community center, so everyone knows what it is, because it is a central location. When we drive by, everybody sees it.
You can put a macchiato brown sign on this one.
We can,
Macchiato.
we can.
So, any questions, so is that it?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
if
no.
so, I'm gonna open it
No,
up.
if you have any questions.
Okay.
What was the reason why we weren't going with green again? Was there,
I think
was
it
it
was
just a preference thing?
Yeah, I think everybody was
Request?
It was a
kinda-
request
kinda
from
like the
city
green.
council.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
City council would request me to bring back other color options. We still can go with the green, that is an option too, but if we're gonna change it, now's the time to change it.
And thank you for getting these other options. All right, so any questions from the public? Comment, please come up to the mic. I know I heard some, if you don't
Please,
come up to the
please come
mic.
up to the
No, you
mic.
have to come up to the mic. If you
Please
don't come up to the mic
mic.
now, forget it. Forget it. No. Please come up to the mic, state your name.
Okay, I'm Danielle Sanders, and first and foremost, thank you for my appointment.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And my vote, not that it matters, number 1,
Oh,
number 1.
okay.
I think we have enough red buildings in Oakdale.
Oh, breaking my heart. All right, anyone else? Thank you, Ms. Sanders, thank you.
Hello, my name is Austin Sprague. Looking at those 4 options, number 1 is, in my opinion, the best. It's subtle, it works. I know Oakdale's red, but yeah, they don't look very well. And going to your question about the green, I saw a couple weeks ago that you guys talked about that. I do believe we could save a ton of money just spraying the outside green and not having to redo the inside. Nobody's gonna walk from the outside and say, oh, that green doesn't match. My 2 cents.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you, Austin. That was.
Anyone else? Of course, come on up. Nice to see you again.
Hello, council. I'm Shelley Cummings. I am with Dunn Edwards Paints, and we did provide a lot of different options. The one thing I just want to clarify when you look at these options is you also have to take in consideration the interior. So you want to make sure that the exterior does flow nicely, that matches what's currently going on inside. So I think the green, which has been part of Oakdale for a while, it doesn't maintain that consistency inside. So that's just kind of the reason we came up with some color options is because you do have a beautiful building inside, the doors, the carpet, what's flowing on inside. So when you do have other events, we wanted to make sure it had that color flow inside. So just help you to clarify the options that were presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. All right, anyone else for public comment? Public comment is now closed. All right, council.
Can you show number 1 again?
Yes, sir.
I am squarely in the bus with Austin. the inside and the outside, to me, it's not like people are gonna walk inside, whoa, let's cancel this. It doesn't match what we saw outside, we're gonna cancel our wedding and take it. No, it's
Right.
not, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice and it's a good theory, but I don't think anybody,
Well, I think what some of the problem is too is that the pillars in there, those all need to be repainted. So then you have your window on both sides, so when you're actually standing there looking at them, you can see even from now the
half
fade.
of the
and-
pillar inside, half
Right.
the pillar outside.
Exactly. So if we're gonna do it and then, you know, if you walk in, you see dual windows on the inside and then these shiny pillars on the inside, you know, it's one of those things that needs to be touched up a lot. So
And right now, the pillars on the inside are,
green, everything's green. And then we also do have red trim kind of around the door frames. So, and that was with the original where we had the orange flooring, red, and then the green. So that's why we're trying to modernize it.
yeah, we should probably get rid of that red.
All right, any other council have questions, comments, concerns? If not, this is an action item. I mean, I would choose the red, obviously. However, I do like option 1 as well. Just my 2 cents.
Do we
but
vote on each one, or do we,
I think
propose?
we have a first and a second, and then,
I'm gonna propose option 1, and do we take a vote?
I want to say I really wanted red, but the constituents here like number 1, so I'm gonna go probably, just to clarify.
yes, Bianca?
So,
Just noticed, as the paint changed, that building in the back, that's part of the building, though, that's up with all the paint,
Take this one
when
with
you
you.
went red.
Mm-hmm.
It went red too. Is that changing also?
Yeah, because right now it's green,
That made it pop, is all I'm saying. So if you go back over to,
If you look in the upper,
See how
upper
it
right corner, that's gonna be
changes?
painted also.
I really like all of them, but this is definitely not my department. I don't have an eye for this
none of
stuff,
them are
because
my
I would put
colors,
red for
so I can
everything.
say that.
Red and gold. I would. Red and gold. Everything.
Before we vote, can we get some coffee?
Everything.
Can we get some drinks in here?
I get outvoted at home. I can't have a red door or a yellow house.
I would like to propose option 1, and I guess that's my first.
okay, so do we have a second for option 1?
I'll second that.
Oh, first and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilbert,
Yes.
and Councilmember Patassi.
I want a motion green before they vote. Keep it green.
Well, you know what? That's a valid point. You like the green?
I like the green.
'Cause I do too.
I think we finally agree on something.
Yeah.
So,
What are you in?
so what are we doing here?
No, I'm sticking with my number 1, but,
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Come on.
So are you a no, Jared?
Yes, I'm a no.
Okay, and Mayor Barrios?
Yes, I like this
Okay,
one.
so
So passes 4-1.
I tried.
All right, thank you, Tim,
One it
and
is.
thank you
Yep,
for
thank
going the
you.
extra mile. And again, I love the red, man, I love the red. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
have,
Tim.
yeah, I need to have a red door at home, something like that. The outfit, I need to do something. The outfit is the best.
Now, hold on a
I
second,
just want
hold
to
on.
say thank you so much.
could we have had that
Thank you.
green? Could we have had that green?
All right, so, item 11.3. Hi, Patrick.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council, and happy St. Patty's Day to everyone. The item before you is the city manager recruitment. It's an introduction of a resolution that would authorize staff to enter into an agreement with Bob Murray and Associates for an executive recruitment to fill the permanent city manager position. By way of background, we know that former city manager Brian Whitemeyer announced his resignation in January. At this time, the city council appointed Chief Jerry Ramar to serve as interim city manager, and they also directed city staff at that time to find a suitable executive recruitment firm to conduct an external recruitment, which we did. A total of 4 proposals was received and evaluated, and the criteria which we used to evaluate these services were as follows. Number one was overall experience, especially as it related to a city manager position within local municipalities. The full range of recruitment services that are provided, their project approach and methods that they use to identify the top candidates, cost effectiveness, and then overall fit for Oakdale. So after doing that, Bob Murray and Associates came out on top with their experience and then their comprehensive start-to-finish recruitment services, structured recruitment processes, and their extensive network and advertising. We believe that they would be the best fit for Oakdale. The total cost for services would not exceed $33,000. Funds for this are available in Fund 110, which is our contract services fund. And then this covers the full scope of services, which includes brochure design and printing, mailing, advertising on various well-known platforms and advertisement sites. This also includes full background checks for up to 3 candidates, travel expenses, and more. Staff recommends that the City Council authorize the staff to enter into an agreement with Bob Murray and Associates for the executive recruitment services to fill the permanent city manager position for a cost that would not exceed $33,000 from funds from 110 contract services. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
I have one. Are travel expenses normally included?
Yes, travel expenses are normally included in their costs.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go questions from the public first for Patrick. Any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. Council?
I do. The only question I had in this packet here was, there is a maximum of 3 background checks, but that's not saying that they're limiting their search to 3 interviews, correct?
That's correct.
So they will take these interviews, choose the top 3, and then pull background checks on those. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, what will actually happen is somebody from city council will limit it down to the 3, and then you could potentially put them into background checks, depending on who you select, and that's why we put limited to 33,000, because there are some candidates out there that would not require a background check.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I would say,
Just repeat the question, Jerry. Repeat the question.
yeah, the question was how extensive are the background checks?
Araceli Chavez, I'm just wondering how extensive the background checks are.
So just from my experience with the recruiters, it would be just an overall background check, but nothing to the extent of a law enforcement background check. So basically, make sure that there's no fraud, no felonies, no moral turpitude issues, stuff like that, bankruptcy, that sort of stuff.
Okay, but no criminal?
Can you please step right up?
I'm just, so no criminal background? So it's just to see if you have fraud or anything like that, but not
Well,
if they are, let's say, pedophiles?
so they do criminal background checks also, yes.
Okay, the only reason why I ask is I run background checks for Equifax, and I'm one of the people that puts together a lot of the stuff. So I'm curious as to just how extensive the background checks are for somebody that's going to be in a position of power.
So, as I said, it's not going to be to the extent of law enforcement, but it'll be a fairly thorough background check. They'll check criminal history. So there could be some candidates that could have a prior criminal history, but it wouldn't, obviously, we wouldn't let somebody get through the background that had some crimes of moral turpitude or sex crimes, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ursula.
Department of
Thank you.
Justice background check is conducted, DOJ check is conducted. And then one other part of their background checks that the executive searches do that typically we don't do for a lot of our recruitments is they kind of scour social media for each one of the final candidates. They go through all of their social medias just to make sure that there's nothing that would be defaming to, to the organization. So that's all included in part of the background checks as well.
Thank you, Patrick.
Sure.
Does that stuff get,
Thank you for your questions.
does their findings, or does that get reported to us too? Like, do we get to see all that stuff?
Yes, it does. They put a very comprehensive report together, and each of the council members is given that. And also part of their their recruitment services that they do is they assist with the interview questions as well from their previous recruitments that they've done for city manager positions, and they look for like sizes in municipalities as well, and they put together a recommended list of interview questions for consideration. Not that you have to choose those, but they try to make it as easy as possible. So all of that, I mean, you're paying for it, so it all goes into the cost of their services.
Thank you, Patrick. Any other questions? All
And this
right.
is-
It was a pretty thorough matrix of grading that you put together, so I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And
Fortunately, all the firms, I mean, they all put proposals together, and you probably saw they're pretty in-depth proposals, but it made it, it was very easy to, each one of them had it broken down in certain areas so that you could see the range of services, their experience. It was pretty easy to extract out of it, so.
And this is nothing that we think the city can handle. We'd rather push it to a recruiting firm,
I would say no.
just for like cost-saving question. Somebody's thinking that while they're watching or
You
in the
could,
crowd.
you could certainly save money and not hire the recruiter. It's something that the city could handle. If we're gonna do a recruitment, I would recommend using Bob Murray and Associates. They're gonna have an extensive, search criteria. They will find the best of the best.
When we do recruitments, our standard recruitment process includes advertising our positions on governmentjobs.com, and that feeds to a lot of third-party sites like Indeed and certain others, and sometimes we'll use Modesto Bee. They have a digital platform that we'll use that gets quite a bit of attention. There's other sites out there too that are very tailored towards local government, like ICMA, that we can advertise on, and some of these are ones that they advertise on, but more. And I think that a lot of what you pay for is their network as well. Since they're so well known, especially Bob Murray and Associates, they have that network. Like just on their website alone, they advertise the positions on their website, and they get thousands of views on their websites. And then they post the job listings to the specific tailored organizations and websites that they know will get the right people to apply for the position, because it's not always about the volume, it's about identifying the right candidates for the position. So
And just to confirm, people within the city of Oakdale can also apply?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is an action item. If there's no other questions from
Last
the council.
question. There's not a maximum number of interviews they cut up. They're not going to just say, well, we got 12 and that's all. They're going to interview everybody who applied.
They do an initial phone interview screening. They do an initial screening, and then they do phone interviews. I believe I saw in their packet that they generally recommend 6 to 8 candidates to interview because that's
But
after
that's-
they've done
that's
their.
after they've narrowed it down.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Patrick.
You're
I
welcome.
motion to approve item 11.3.
I'll second that motion.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith?
Yes. Thank you,
Councilmember
Patrick.
Patasi?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. Item 11.4.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. The item before you is to appoint an interim police chief. So consider a resolution selecting retired police captain Jason Grogan as the interim police chief for the City of Oakdale effective March 18, 2025, and approving an appointment agreement outlining his compensation and duties, and that was included in the packet. So background is I was appointed city manager effective March 7th, 2025. To maintain operational efficiency, an interim police chief should be appointed. And retired police captain Jason Grogan has been identified as a highly qualified candidate. He spent 28 years in law enforcement. His last 2 years was as a captain overseeing the operations division for the Modesto Police Department. He holds a bachelor's degree of science. He's experienced in patrol operations, investigations, and strategic planning. I didn't include his resume, but it's quite extensive. He served in multiple units while with Modesto Police Department. And then, of course, I will remain the police chief, and therefore I'll be able to assist Grogan with his daily activities. Fiscal impact, the position's fully funded in the general fund. His compensation aligns with market rate for an interim police chief. His compensation will be $86.13 per hour plus additional incentives, and those incentives have been identified as 7.5% because members of the POA are also eligible for the 7.5% for the bachelor's degree. And then once we have access to his post EDI, as long as he has his advanced certificate, he'd be entitled to another 7.5%. If he only has his intermediate, then it would be 5%. It's common for law enforcement professionals not to seek their post degree, but I anticipate that Jason has his. So the term will be until a permanent chief of police is approved or I return to my role. There's also another option that Grogan, if the recruitment for city manager goes for an extended period of time, that Captain Grogan would run out of hours. He's limited to 960 hours per fiscal year. So if he starts on the 18th of March, that'll take him to July 30th. He will not exceed his 960 hours. The fiscal year resets, so starting July 1, he would be eligible for another 960 hours, basically about a half a year, so that would take him all the way to December. So staff recommends approving the resolution selecting Jason Grogan as the interim police chief for the city of Oakdale and approving the employment agreement outlining his compensation and duties.
I have one question. Did you say that he would be a member of the POA for that 7.5% increase, or he is not a member?
He is not a member.
Okay, I thought so. And then I just had a question from the public that wanted to make sure that you weren't getting both the chief of police pay and the city manager's pay. I already know the answer, but I just wanted to bring it up.
The answer is no.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Jerry. Sorry.
And that's why it's fully funded through the general fund, because now my pay has been transferred over to a different department.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure. Any questions from the public for Jerry Ramar?
Mr. Grogan is currently retired?
He's been retired from Modesto Police Department for about 2 years.
Did he retire, or was he retired?
He retired
Thank you.
after 28 years of faithful service to the Modesto Police Department.
Thank you. That's it.
All right, any other questions?
Is Mr.
from
Grogan here
council?
tonight?
Mr. Grogan is not here tonight. He would have been, but this was a last-minute decision of mine, and he already had a pre-planned vacation. He did apologize for not making it. He really wanted to be here.
Just real quick, I asked council of a change to the contract because there was some language in the contract that I think was odd, that it would not have allowed our former chief to potentially go back into his role on the contract. Was that changed?
We'll change it right now.
Okay.
And it was to match as was stated in the PowerPoint.
The
presentation.
PowerPoint was
Yeah.
absolutely correct, but the language in the contract didn't, it said it would not allow, it was only the appointment of a new police chief.
Did not specify the
So it
return.
didn't specify
So that-
anybody returning. So I asked council that question earlier this week. so.
That was a good catch, and I recommended that we provided, it's section 7, line 5, after chief, that we add comma, or Jerry Ramar returns to the position full-time.
Thank you for catching that. I appreciate that.
All right. Any other questions from council? This is an action item.
I motion to approve item 11-4.
Second the motion?
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gilbert?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, item 12. Anybody have questions for city manager?
No.
No?
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome.
My sympathies.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions from the public? All righty. City, oh, good evening.
Colleen?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good evening. My name is Benjamin Emerald. I just want to congratulate Councilman Smith on being Citizen of the Year. Is that what it is? Citizen of the Year?
Yes.
Congratulations. And then Kaylee Gilbert, Woman of the Year, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's a big accomplishment, right? Woman of the Year. I mean, of all the women in the city, you got Woman of the Year, you know, the women who have given birth and had kids and, you know, gone to PTA meetings and involved in sports leagues, you beat all of them out. That's incredible.
I actually had no idea I was nominated for this until 2 weeks ago, and I want you to know, for 2 years, I did have 2 teen foster daughters, and I did parent them for 2 years. If you didn't know that about me, that is, and they were here earlier tonight.
Okay, well, that's great. I
And
just want
actually,
to congratulate you.
It's the Woman of the Year in Senate District 4, is my understanding, not
Yeah.
just
The
the city,
Oakdale,
not just the city, but
the
Senate
Oakdale district,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
for Marie Alvarado.
That's really impressive. So I guess Woman of the Year, right? You'd be the best person to answer this question. What is a woman?
You don't have to answer that question, it's not a conversation.
So point of order, this is probably better for public comment period
Yeah.
or during the recognition.
This is not a conversation.
This is not the venue for
Do
this
you have
statement.
any other questions for us?
Oh, yeah, I also want to know who gave out the awards?
At the Oakdale Chamber Awards?
Yeah, is that what it is? It's the Chamber Award?
Yes, it's the Oakdale Chamber Awards, and there's a special committee made up of 7 people throughout the committee, 7 within Oakdale and 1 outside of the Oakdale
And
area.
you, Mayor, you're the head of the Chamber of
am the-
Commerce, right?
I am.
That's
I want
incredible.
to clarify
That's
my
incredible.
award.
Can I finish speaking? Can I finish
Yes,
speaking?
but to clarify, my award is not a chamber award. It was from Senator Alvarado Gil.
Where was your award from? Councilman
So,
Smith?
so again, point of order. This is for public comment. This isn't on the agenda.
Well, I asked you a question. You don't want to answer it? Oh, okay, well, I find it ironic that the mayor is the head of the Chamber of Commerce, and both the people who got awards were basically awarded by her, is what I think.
No, my award was
I
from
think it's
the
a strange
senator,
coincidence,
not
that's all I'm
from
saying.
the chamber.
Actually-
My
Was
award-
yours from the chamber?
No, it was from a voting board,
A voting board?
yeah.
A voting
Of
committee
which-
from the chamber,
of which she
not
was
the
not a-
chamber board.
Honestly,
And
it
let
just
me-
seems,
let
it
me
seems
just
like
say- let me just say one
a
thing.
shameless attempt at self-promotion. That's what I think it
Okay.
is.
Has nothing,
Thank you,
So-
Benjamin.
Benjamin Amaral, is that correct? You
Yeah,
didn't say your name.
yeah.
Okay. I have spent 20 of the last 20 years volunteering in this town.
Mhm.
I have spent 20 of the last 20 years giving my free time and energy to the community.
Mhm.
All right? I am a community member.
Right.
So when somebody suggested that I become Citizen of the Year, I had nothing to do with that. Okay?
I just think it's strange that 2 people got
You might
awards for.
think, you might think things are strange.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I know, there's a whole group of you.
A
but-
whole group of us?
Yeah, there's probably a
Really?
whole bunch of you thinking something's weird. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody
Uh-huh.
suggested me, and a voting
Right.
board.
That's very
decided.
convenient. Very convenient.
Okay. Enjoy your life.
Yeah, you enjoy yours too,
Thanks, I will.
Citizen Smith, and Woman of the Year.
I would like to thank everyone that came out with me 2 weekends ago to make Oakdale beautiful again at the river cleanup. Council member Jared Patassi was there. I know some of the council members were preoccupied, but it was a great day that we spent cleaning up the river. And thank you, because there was a problem down there, and I would like to thank Captain Eddie Ingleton for taking us down there on his boat.
Kayla, you're awesome, and congratulations. A very well-deserving award that was given by Senator Marie Alvarado Gil, not the Oakdale City Council and not the Oakdale Chamber of Commerce. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Katie, congratulations on your award. Chris, congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
award.
Thanks, Jared.
All right, any council member have something they would like to say?
Sure, I'll say something happy. I just want to thank the city and their staff for the great job they did at the pickleball park and on Gregor. I walk my dog by there probably at a minimum 2 times a day, sometimes longer. It is constantly busy. It is constantly active. All 4 pickleball courts, the tennis court seems to be going great. I've walked inside there. I'm actually playing there tomorrow morning, so I'll give more report later. But the courts are incredible. When I drove by and then walked by at about 4 o'clock today, even with the rain, there was no water on the courts.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know what y'all did, but I've been playing that sport for years and years, and I've never seen a court get that dry that quick. So I don't know what it is, and I've had nothing but compliments from people that play about the courts. Yes, there's been a couple of complaints, but overall, I see kids out there playing that I would never have thought would have been outside at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, instead of, they're out there playing pickleball instead of being home playing a video game or being on a screen. So I wasn't part of council when all that was approved and done, but thank you for everybody with the council and the city for putting that together.
Thank you. Anyone else have an item? I just want to thank the Modesto Fire Department, the Oakdale Police Department, and Oak Valley Hospital for what they did today at Costless. There was an emergency at Costless, as I'm sure everybody has seen on social media, and saying thank you to the men and women, boots on the ground that were there and taking care of that situation. Very, very scary. The Costless had a roof leak, so water went on the produce side. So emergency services were there, and obviously 911, and they mitigated that risk very well, and that was a big deal. So thank you guys for all that you do, you guys and gals. Next meeting, Monday, April 7th. Everybody knows that's the national holiday in the Oakdale Cowboy capital of the world, because that is rodeo week. So make sure you show up right here like you did tonight, 7 p.m. Again, congratulations, Christopher Smith, on Citizen of the Year, definitely deserving. And congratulations, Ms. Gilbert, Councilmember Gilbert, on that. And, yep, thank you. Everyone, have a great 2 weeks. See you in 2 and 2.
Thank you. Good night.